Here's the problem is that you're going to go and create something that you want or know people need, and they're going to look at it and be like, I don't need that. Here's the number one mistake that they make is waiting for tomorrow, waiting for the perfect time, spending months or years thinking you need tons of money to build out an online course with, the best lighting and cameras, and planning out all 10 modules and writing it and creating all these big PowerPoints and talking over it and going, oh, it's not perfect yet. So there's this perfection mindset. Really, it's the perfection. When it comes down to business, 80% is good enough, because in business, perfection is the killer. It's going to crush your business if you're trying to be perfect. What do people do? They try to build a course and then they try to go sell it. Like, yeah, this works sometimes, but it doesn't work most of the time, because generally you're not your customer. I'm not my customer. I know too much about what I do. I'm not my customer. I use different words. I know different language, medical language. I know business language. I'm not my customer. So I can create a course that I would have wanted, and I've done that before. And I could create a product that works for me, and a bunch of other people generally do that. But a lot of times when people are doing that, they've heard their family and friends, they had a problem they could solve, and multiple people want that same problem solved. Well, what happens is people get into their business or into therapy, and like, hey, here you're very smart. You know your stuff so well. It's like, here's what people need. What you think people want versus what they need is very different. And what they want is often not what they think they need or value. And what you want is not what other people want. So here's the problem is that you're going to go and create something that you want or know people need, and they're going to look at it and be like, I don't need that. It's just like all those probably gadgets you saw on late night TV. You're like, you'd never buy that. Like, I don't need that thing. It's kind of like patients who are looking for the physical therapy, and they think all you do is hot packs, leg lifts, and ultrasound. But really, you're sitting and listening and problem solving for them. You're doing something very different than what they think they want. And so when you're building an online course, you got to do the same thing. You got to know what your customers or potential customers want. And then the next thing that comes out of people's head is, but Aaron, I don't have an audience. Like, I don't have customers. So what you're saying to me is go find out what my customers want, but I don't have a social media following. I don't have an audience. You don't need a large following to be successful or launch a 6-figure online program. You only need a couple people to make this work. But just imagine the results you'd have if you do have thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people following you. Just imagine if they're real people. Because the reason most people struggle with these things, this is like perfection and marketing, is because they're missing this one thing. They don't have the market message match. Have not matched the market to the message, and then really to the offer. But we're not talking about the sales. We're talking about, like, how do we get people in? It's because the people who you think you want something different than what you have. Your message is very different. It doesn't matter how many people follow you online, whether you have a great idea for a course or not, or you have great camera equipment, editing software, any of that stuff. You don't need any of those things. What you need are 4 or 5 questions, and you need people to ask them to. And then you need to be creative in solving the problems that people tell you they have. And this is the perfect launch formula. And what it can do is allow you to generate $5,000 or more before you create your program, which is what I did the first time I used this about 7 years ago in 2014, about 6 years ago, when I launched my course, The Cash PT Blueprint. I generated and raised $5,000 before I created the program. And now I've created a program that sold hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of courses. We've put over 1,000 people in a program, and it sells now for $2,000 and $2,500 or $2,500.